tonight we're going to be talking about how to deal with distractions, right? How to deal with distractions. And, you know, when it comes to doing a training like this in a business setting, it is, I mean, it's all, everything that I'm going to share with you tonight is all voluntary. Like, you have the ability to choose if you want to apply this stuff or if you don't want to apply this stuff. It's not something that's mandatory, that's mandated, that we can say, hey, you have to stop. You have to learn how to deal with these distractions, right? We all have distractions. If you need some type of statistics to put in your notes, the average person has over 40,000 different thoughts every single day, right? And in short, what we're going to talk about a lot tonight is we're going to talk about, listen, if we have over 40,000 different thoughts every day, for one, what do we always talk about on this training call? We talk about the importance of writing things down, right? When you think it, ink it, right? I don't just keep saying this stuff that I'm learning myself. I don't just say it just to say it, right? But I'm telling you, when you got to write down your ideas, your thoughts, your things that you need to do, your to-do list. We talk about using a planner and using a schedule, right? We're not just saying it because we think you're incapable of remembering it. No, we're just playing the numbers game. And the numbers game says we, on average, have about 40,000 thoughts every single day. And listen, if I need to penetrate this more before we go into the training, then I'll also say this. It has been scientifically proven that over 85% of the things that we do today are going to be repeated tomorrow. So I'm working on your mind right now, and I do want to let you guys know, here's a free bonus. If you're watching television, if you're doing Lord knows what right now while you're on this call, you can actually implement right now by stop doing whatever that is. And that includes being on social media while you're on this training call. Because if you're doing two things, if you're on social media and you're doing business, like if you're in the conversation, that's good. That's a thread that's going on, right? And again, none of this stuff is mandated. This is just general, real business information. Okay, so if 85% of our day today is going to be what our day is going to look like tomorrow, that means we only have about 15% of an opportunity to make a change, right? So so how do you deal with distractions? Okay, one thing I think we should do is called write it down, right? When you think it, ink it. Can't tell you how many times I share that in the world of business. I mean, in life, we all choose the life that we want. Some of us want to live like, some of us want to live large, and some of us just don't care how we live. We just want to kind of make it through, and whatever we come up with. That's life. But in the business world, one of the things that you want to become disciplined in is writing down important things, right? One of the coolest things that I love when we have these TAM meetings and when we have any type of events that you go to is just the type of gifts that they give out. Sometimes you'll see, somebody get a planner or a calendar as a gift at some of these business events, and you're like, and you see everybody's like really excited. You would think that they just won $100,000, but they didn't. They won a planner, a business planner, a schedule. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that, but it's kind of, I guess we could use our national vice president at a point in this business. Now we're getting $300 bonuses to fast track to regional sales director. Now, they're giving us extra money. Now they're giving us lapel pins that we can put on our, on our clothes and things of that nature. But back when the company was first getting started, our national vice president says it all the time, the story about how they set a promotion incentive for this pin. The value of the pen wasn't of any concern. It could have just been a big ballpoint pen. But they went after that incentive because it was something, right? So start with writing your important things down. All right, start with writing it down. And a simple way to remember that is when you think it, ink it. Remember the 2 facts that we already said. Each of us have over 40,000 different thoughts every single day, and 85% of our day today will be exactly what happens tomorrow unless something changes. So for the person who normally doesn't write their important ideas down, that is going to give you an opportunity to change the whole course of your day tomorrow. It gives you the opportunity, not to say that it will, but it will give you the opportunity for something to change. Now, if you love 85% of how your day went today, including the amount of trips that you took to the bank today, then listen, don't mess up a good thing. That's what my mom always taught me growing up, right? Don't mess up a good thing. So let me explain it. Because maybe if you're 85% of your day today, you liked it, you loved it, and it's taking you closer to where you need to be. If 85% of your day was great and you love it and you wouldn't mind having that same day for the rest of your life, then continue doing what you're doing. Okay? But if you want an opportunity to change the course and shift something in your life, and you're not writing down the important things that you need to take care of on a day-to-day basis, that's a great place for you to start, writing your important ideas down, okay? And also, if you're in the group, share your thoughts. Like, do you write your stuff down? And not the old, I always make fun of people when they say, I'm going to pray for you tonight. No, I'm going to pray for you. Listen, if you don't pray for me on the spot, I don't even expect for you to pray for me. I know that's wrong and I'm a horrible person, but listen, don't pray. It's like that, right? So don't just write in there, write things down. This is serious business, right? If you're writing down your important ideas and thoughts and to-do list every single day, then write that in the group. Same as well. Let us know that you're not writing your thoughts down. You're not writing down your appointments. You're not writing down your schedule. Right? Write that in the group too, because that will let people know, especially our new teammates. That's going to it's okay to be on either side, right? How you are right now, how you are when you got on this call doesn't matter as much as it matters how you're going to be when you get off of this call. You see what I'm saying? So start that conversation. I would like to know who writes down their stuff, who doesn't write down their stuff. Who's going to take action? Like, today's the last day I'm going to not write down my thoughts. Man, we really have 40,000 thoughts every day? Man, really? 85% of our day is routine? Really? Go find that out. And when you do, go ahead and try to do what's necessary to make a change. All right, and I just had a prospect call me. She's been calling me like who knows how long. She either wants to tell me to stop calling her, or she's telling me that she's coming on September 2nd. Let me try to call her real quick. Hold on, guys. Oh, good afternoon, Deborah.
Yes.
Hello, how are you doing, Deborah? It looks like I've been missing your calls. You're missing my calls. How are you today?
I'm fine. Who is this?
This is Demetrius Brown, work-at-home recruiter. You reached out to me a little while back with the AMERIPLAN opportunity. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, and thank you so much for asking. I didn't want to take too much of your time. I'm not sure if I left you a message or not, but I did just want to ask you, at this point, can you use an extra paycheck? Like, are you looking for an additional stream of income at this time?
Well, right now, Demetrius, I am found something I'm doing, which is home-based travel, and I'm doing quite well with that. So,
what's quite well? if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I got about 5 cruises going out tomorrow and 3 going out next year, and then vacations, 2 vacations this year.
Okay.
And I'm just really getting started with it. So,
how long have you been started?
I started it about maybe 4 months ago.
Okay, excellent. So it sounds like things are going extremely well. I do wish you the best of success. Before I let you go, absolutely. Before I let you go, can I ask you one last question?
Yes.
Do you have dental coverage right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you do have dental coverage. And so are you open to at least seeing, because our company just made a huge expansion that's going over extremely well across the nation. And they're actually going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina this Saturday at 1 o'clock. If I was to invite you, would you say yes or?
1 o'clock, I will be at church for my youth choir rehearsal. That's where I would be, so I wouldn't be able to make that.
Okay, that's fair enough. Excellent.
Okay.
Well, my number came up in your caller ID, correct? Right.
It did.
Okay, excellent. And yeah, other than that, you have an amazing day. And like I said, if anything happens and you're not able to make it to choir practice Saturday, come on, give me a call. I'll give you the details. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day, Deborah. Thank you for calling.
You too. Thank you for calling me. Bye-bye.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. Okay, so where was we at? We was talking about the Pramod Dora. Oh, I wanted to also, I mentioned this like a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago on this same training call. I was introducing you guys to the Pramod Dora technique. A lot of you, from the messages you guys sent me, a lot of you never heard of it, and a lot of you are actually implementing it as we speak. I think that's a great way to not deal with distractions, right? It's a great way to deal with distraction. It's a great technique, right? Each of us have different techniques, just the same as each of us have different distractions, right? But there's different techniques that's out there that we can actually learn and we can actually implement in our lives to make our lives better, right, and more peaceful, right? Because that's all. I mean, what does a distraction really do, right? Distractions, it's just a distraction. It's like listen, here's what a distraction is, right? If I pass gas on the elevator, that's going to affect you in some form or fashion, right? But if I pass gas outside at the park, that's not going to affect you see what I'm saying? But either way, I'm trying to tell you, I just want to drive home a point that each of us have different distractions, and all a distraction is it's going to impact your life if you allow it to. So all we're trying to do, whether we're using the Pramod Dora technique or we're using any other technique out there, we're trying to help you live a more peaceful life and run a more peaceful business. What good is making $100,000 in a business, but your head is not even at ease? You can't even sleep at night. I mean, a lot of people say that's the same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had this great career, had this great life, and then when you find out, man, how did he die? Well, he died because he couldn't sleep. Damn. I mean, I love Thriller. I love the moonwalk and all that, but if I can't sleep at night, when I'm ready to sleep, it could be in the middle of the day or night. If I had a problem sleeping, I might have to sacrifice ever doing a moonwalk. I might have to sacrifice not doing that documentary, This Is It. Right? A lot of the women, what do? A lot of women and men, right? Big icon for beauty and, confidence and all of that is Marilyn Monroe. Right? Marilyn Monroe is this beautiful icon that men and women of all ages look up to. And, I mean, you look at how she died. I mean, she died at a very young age. I mean, so did Martin Luther King. So did Jesus Christ. So did Tupac Shakur. So did Biggie Smalls. But they did it at the hands of somebody else. I mean, even Michael Jackson, some say, did it at the hands of somebody else. I mean, Marilyn Monroe, as beautiful as she was, as famous as she was, as great as she was, you guys know how that ended up. I don't know why we're not educating people on this. And, okay, she's beautiful, but she also killed herself. I don't like that exchange. Like, I don't like that. We want to be like this person, but she killed herself. That kind of takes away. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Maybe you can sort it out on your own. But my point is, when you learn how to deal with distractions, you sleep better at night. You see what I'm saying? Your business, I'm trying to tell you guys, it's no good to have a big, profitable business if you can't even sleep at night. Right? So we have to get these distractions in order. We have to put we have to prioritize how to deal with these distractions. We have to. It's what we got to do. And here's the cool thing too, guys. Outside of, when you think it, ink it, outside of the Pramod technique, right? There's also something called awareness. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of it, but it's called awareness, right? And listen, everybody has to deal with it. But here's what I've learned about the most successful people that I've ever met in my life. Successful people make time for the things that matter. What unsuccessful people do is they make time for the things that don't matter. I'll give you guys a quick example. I recently I watched a fight happen like a couple days ago. It's like maybe 2 days late. And the funny thing about it was, because it was in my environment, I tried to, come on, seriously. Are we doing this? Come on, guys. No, stop. Seriously. You guys, listen, stop. Like, it's not even worth it. I was that guy. But it didn't work. Right? Shortly after, somebody got lumped up in the head, and it was pretty sad. I mean, I felt good because I did the best that I could do. But why did I tell that story to you? I told that story because of how the fight started, like the physical fight, right? The physical fight started all because these individuals didn't know that it wasn't worth it. I mean, if I remember correctly, they were talking, what resonated with me so much is, have you ever seen, some of us get really passionate about certain things that happen in our lives or certain things that we enjoy, right? I remember when I was growing up, I mean, a guy is different than maybe a girl. I don't know, did girls, ladies, when you were growing up, did you guys argue with the other girls in the neighborhood, like who has the better Barbie dolls, or who had, the better, who could ballet dance the best, or, whatever you ladies do? Because I know as a kid, as a boy growing up, we would get into passionate, aggressive arguments about things like video games or, a toy, right? A Transformer toy. Give me my toy, and my toy's better than yours, and this. And then, as you get older, you start fighting over things that don't really matter, right? And I'm not saying as a kid, your Barbie didn't matter. I'm saying it did matter, but I'm also attaching that to when you were a child, okay? Now, here's the deal. As we get older, those same type of distractions, because look, back to the Barbie. Let me clarify this before y'all say he's trying to tell my daughter doesn't need to have no Barbie doll. She doesn't. No. Let me clarify that before I move on. What I'm saying is, as long as you have whatever your thing is, you should be so indulged in what your little gift is that you don't care if somebody likes it or has something different. So I just wanted to say that really quickly. Now, back to what I'm saying about this distraction is as we get older, we still get distracted, but it's not with Barbie dolls and it's not with video games. Some fellas, actually, some of the adults on our team still faithfully play video games every single day, and there's nothing wrong with it. I always say if you're going to play games every day, and this is for the fellas, guys, if you're going to play video games every day, did you realize that some people get paid to do that? Like there's that you can actually get paid to play video games. That's a whole nother story, but I'm just talking about distractions tonight. So here's the distraction. Sometimes we get so involved in, matter of fact, I'm going to read this. I just posted it on Instagram. Maybe this will help. And then we'll get out of here. I'll open it up for questions at the end too. All right, so I just posted this. I think it's better than what I was about to explain. Okay, so I said, be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. Right? So I'll read it again. And I'm talking about distractions, but when we think about distractions, we're thinking about like multitasking, which I heard multitasking in the business world is multi-stupid, but that's a whole nother thing we're not going to talk about right now. We're talking about, so let me read it again. We're talking about distractions, okay? And we're not talking about in the form of, a person or a place or your phone or, Instagram or Facebook. We're not talking about those distractions. Those are the obvious. I'm not going to tell you what your distractions are. I want to have the conversation so that you can figure out what your own distractions are. We all have distractions, but all of ours are different. But check this out. I'm going to read it again, right? I put, be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. So, all right, I'm going to just jump all the way out the window. I'll jump in the water, and if anybody wants to come into the water, you can come with me. But I'm going by myself at first. Listen, many people know that someone like, let's say, Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z is somebody throughout my life, specifically like in college. I was the guy that was going to, I'll spend 5 hours, 10 hours, a whole day. I'll curse, I'll fight, I'll do whatever, just defending Jay-Z, right, and how great he was. And what did the quote say? It said, be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. See, my challenge until I heard this audio, it was on YouTube, and it was from a guy named Zig Ziglar. I don't remember what the video was called, but if you go on YouTube and you type in Zig Ziglar, who I always recommend as a great person if you're trying to get some personal development in, he's a great option. But Zig Ziglar, in this video, he was talking about the difference between a fan and a fanatic. And at that time, see, timing is everything, right? Timing is everything. But at that time in my life, I needed to hear that because I was the same way with sports. And I was the same way with entertainment, music, and everything else, right? What I'm trying to say is some of us on this team don't have enough time to work our business because we're worried about other people's business and how they're handling their business. And we all know the number one rule in business is to mind your own business. It's hard to manage your business if you're trying to figure out how somebody else is handling their business. So what am I saying? I'm saying pay attention to the conversation that you're having every day. And tomorrow would be a great day. Or before you go to bed tonight until tomorrow would be a great time. Right? Find out how many times during the course of your day are you not minding your business. You'll be amazed. one of the best rules in business, again, is to mind your own business. We all know somebody who doesn't like Beyonce, right? But the chances of her knowing that person also is very slim. We talked about tonight how to deal with distractions, right? That's what we was talking about. We talked about the Pramod technique. We talked about when you think it, ink it. I gave you a few statistics and facts. I said that we each have over 40,000 thoughts every single day. I also reminded you that 85% of whatever happened to you today will be exactly what happens to you tomorrow. You only have a 15% window of opportunity to change the course of any day. This is not stuff I'm telling you. This is stuff that's scientifically proven. Okay, then I actually did take a call. That happened on this call as well. I spoke with a lady named Dora out of North Carolina, and she had something to do Saturday with her church choir. But I did remind her, and I don't know if you guys knew that. But I did keep reminding her, if anything does happen, let me know and I'll give you the details. Boom, boom, boom. And then I read you my Instagram quote, which says, "Be a good person, but don't waste time proving it." Right? And that goes for everything. I also talked to you guys about the fight. I saw the guy get punched in the face. I tried to stop it, tried to get in between. I tried to tell him that it wasn't worth it. Well, one thing led to another, and it all came because they were trying to prove themselves. Right? They were trying to prove themselves. I told you also about how Zig Ziglar, I watched that Zig Ziglar video, and he was talking about the difference between a fan and a fanatic. And then I gave you the final challenge. I said, you know what, listen, between now and 24 hours from now, pay attention to how many times during the course of your day you're not minding your own business. Other than that, thank you for the reminder. September 2nd, Raleigh, North Carolina. The address is at the Hampton Inn and Suites, and that's 600 Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, North Carolina. The only thing that we ask, we obviously welcome everyone to Raleigh, but the only thing that we ask is that you bring one guest. Bring a friend, bring a guest to the event, and you'll fit right in. We're going to have the meeting. It starts at 1 o'clock, and then after the meeting and after the training, we're going to go and have something to eat, as we always do, a meeting after the meeting, which is always really cool. You get to let your hair down, get to know people outside of business, but we also talk about business and stuff, so it's kind of cool. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Have a productive day, and pay attention to the ways that you're going to be distracted in the next.
Bro,